Metro franchise has always been the best at doing narrative linear driven games. Metro 2033 and Last Light were such great games at handling the topics of humanity and war, hope versus despair. They did that in such a good way that we really didn't need another Metro game. The story was already concluded back in Metro Last Light, but what if 4A Games, the people behind Metro, released another Metro game? And what if that game wasn't linear but an open world survival game? Well, they did do that back in 2019 and surprisingly, it works. Metro Exodus is a post-apocalyptic open-world survival story-driven game made by 4A Games and published by Deep Silver. And to say this game might be a masterpiece would be a valid assumption. This game is so well made, the story, the gameplay, and the mechanics that made Metro the game it was were all enhanced that it feels like Metro Exodus is the perfect version of Metro you can play right now. But again, it's a masterpiece, a very flawed one at that. I have made a video around a year ago where I pretty much talked about all the Metro games, not in depth, but I've said what I needed to say. That video got stupidly popular that looking back on it now, it's a shit video. And I think I can give Metro Exodus the love it needs but also the criticism it deserves. Because even though Metro Exodus is phenomenal, it also has some problems. Some are very small, and the others are really annoying to deal with. So without further ado, this is Metro Exodus. The story of Metro Exodus is rather nice compared to the other Metros. It doesn't feel as grandiose as Metro Last Light, and it doesn't feel as tamed as Metro 2033. The game begins with Artyom, our main character, trying to find a place where people can live outside the Metros, and people don't really believe in him. Well, on an outing with his wife, Anna, they find a train on the surface. They get into a car with some people, those people turns out to be the bad guys, they kidnap Anna and shoot Artyom, and by a stroke of luck, Artyom survives. After that, Artyom finds where the train was headed and he goes there in the hopes of saving Anna. We then find a character named Yermak, a person who works there. He decides to help us find Anna. After some tutorializing and some sneaking sections, we find Anna. We decide to wreck the place out and steal their train. We get captured again, but turns out this time it was Miller and the crew. Miller is mad as always because he kept the outside world a secret from everyone, and the crew is also pissed off. We get ambushed by another train, so the crew decided that Artyom needs to infiltrate the other train and blow it up. After we do that, we chill for a bit, looking for a sign to go forward. After some few hours, we get a radio signal telling us to head towards Yamantau, where the last remaining people of the Russian government reside. So we decided to go there, and that's the intro for Metro Exodus. This intro is great. It establishes the main actors and the main objective of the story rather easily. We already now have an objective in our hands, Yamantau, and it seems like the story for Metro Exodus is headed towards the actual unknown rather than the fictional unknown. In just the first mission, we get likable characters to relate to, conflict between the group to solve, and a really cool set scene with the whole train thing. Honestly, this intro is great and things are only going to get better. The Volga is the first level of this game, apart from the actual first level being the tutorial. And the moment you step outside of the train, you can feel something different from this Metro game that makes it more unique than any other Metro game. This level is open to explore right from the get-go. There is no barrier nor a storyline progression locking you from going anywhere in this map. This here is what we call an open zone. It's a form of level design that is kind of like an open world but smaller in scale. And in this first level is where we can see Metro Exodus' masterpiece trait shine the most and its shortcomings unraveling. Before we talk about the gameplay of Metro Exodus, I want to talk about the things that genuinely held me back the first time from enjoying this game. Metro Exodus movement is really weird because sometimes it controls exactly how you would think a first-person shooter controls, like nice, tight, exact, but sometimes it actually pisses me off. Like how when you sprint down a hill or some stairs, your character will keep the same momentum going forward, which leads to unfortunate consequences, like getting flung to your death and all. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if our field of view wasn't so console-like, but this game has a locked FOV, meaning there is no settings to change your FOV at all. A first-person shooter that released in 2019 has no FOV settings, which absolutely sucks because the enhanced edition that released a year after the original one has an FOV slider in the settings of the game, and most of my gripes with the original game has been fixed in that version. And what sucks even more is that that version is locked to anyone that doesn't have an RTX capable card. You cannot play that version without having an RTX GPU. Now, if Metro Exodus had a team that cared for it post-launch, these issues would have been fixed rather easily. But there were no quality of life fixes or patches to this game, which absolutely sucks. But apart from that, the game is good, okay? So let's go back to talking about the game for now. So let's talk about the open zone. Well, it's great. I especially liked how 4A games didn't go with the checklist Ubisoft style of open world that everybody seems to love doing nowadays. Every nook and cranny in this map feels carefully crafted, filled with a lot of hidden details, and nothing is out of place. It's as if the environment here actually exists in the grand scheme of things, and is not just there to serve as a quest objective. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just pissed off at how shit Dying Light 2 was. So what can you do in the Volga? Well, this map is filled with bandit outposts, mutants called people that think electricity is the devil, and I don't blame them. I mean, what the fuck is this? The gameplay of Metro Exodus revolves around you shooting, sneaking, crafting, and god I love how simple this gameplay loop is. Because let's be honest here, Metro isn't trying to take the FPS genre into a new league, it's just trying to be fun, and it is fun. Not because the gameplay is more fun than, let's say for example Titanfall 2, but it's because the gameplay is closely tied to the immersiveness of the game. Just walking around in the Volga, looting dead bodies, sneaking around bandit camps, saving these cultists is one of, if not the most immersive experience I've felt from any game. And this point is backed up even more by the amount of cool set pieces this game has, like the big fish set piece or the bridge set piece for example. And remember when I said the gameplay is tied to the immersiveness of the game? Well, the story is also bundled with both of those, creating a very good ludo narrative. Like for example, in one mission this little girl asks you to find her teddy somewhere. Now you could completely ignore her request and would still be good, but if you don't, you will be rewarded with good karma. Which leads me to my next topic, the karma system. The karma system has been a staple of the Metro franchise. It's easy to explain. Do good things, you get good karma. Do bad things, you get bad karma. You see, what makes Metro Exodus karma system better than the other two Metro games is that it's barely there. It is there, it impacts the game a lot, but it's not noticeable or in your face like the other Metro games. You see, in the other Metro games, when you do a good thing, your screen flashes with a blue bright color, and if you do a bad thing, your screen flashes with a red color. The funny thing is that the actions that are considered bad karma in these games don't really make sense. You do something good that is totally normal and boom, bad karma. So in those games, you really have to play the way the devs intended you to play the game. But in Metro Exodus, you can shoot people, you can kill people, or even take down some people, and the game still thinks you are good because of the way you play. I remember that time on the bridge where I was sneaking around and I heard some guys talking about how I wasn't killing people and that maybe I'm not the bad guy after all. Now, this is cool. It's not really in your face like the bright flashing colors, and it's neat because your gameplay actions affected the story in a positive way. So what's next? What can Metro Exodus do when you finally leave the Volga? Well, simple. Rather than spend the entire game looking for this Yamantau, the next level is literally Yamantau. After being stuck in the wasteland for so long, we finally find Yamantau, the place where every government official is bunkered up in. We reach the entrance and right from the start, something is off about this place. But it doesn't matter. Miller is happy. Look at the guy. He never smiled like this. We go down an elevator and we finally meet these officials, just for it to be an ambush by some bandits. We wake up with Anna tied and Miller being punched everywhere, and some crazy doctor guy saying that he's about to eat us, basically. So Yamantau, how good is it? What does it do? And also, what the fuck is happening? Well, Yamantau is not like the Volga. It's completely linear. There is no freedom on how to tackle Yamantau. It is completely on rails. Even more than that, Yamantau is filled with shooting sections as you try to find Anna and a way out. Does that make this level bad? Well, not really. If Metro Exodus was filled with linear levels like this, and Yamantau was just one of them, then yeah, sure. But since the Volga was so big and slow compared to the other Metro levels, Yamantau feels like a nice little break from the exploring and looting. It also does a sub-mediocre part with the cannibal theme. I think, in my correct opinion, the level design does enough of this already, but the dialogue kept mentioning that they are cannibals for the peanut brain people that didn't get it. So after we find Anna, we discovered that there are some satellites we can access through a place called the Caspian 1 facility. So we escape Yamantau and decided to go there. Now, before we talk about the Caspian level, I want you guys to like this video and subscribe. I have put way too much effort on this video expecting nothing in return, but if you want to support me for free, a like and a subscribe will not only boost me up in the algorithm, it will also boost up my dwindling mental status. Now let's get back to talking about arguably the worst Metro Exodus level. The Caspian is the second open zone level and the last one in this game, and you can easily see that this level is the weakest link in the game. Not only is this level very big, bigger than the Volga in terms of size, but bigger doesn't always mean better. The Caspian is filled with nothing. Now, I hear you say, this level is a desert, of course it's going to be filled with nothing, but honestly that's not my actual problem here. You see, all the environment here looks the same, with abandoned shipwrecks and just sand everywhere, which again, this wouldn't be an issue had it been the first time Metro Exodus does an open zone, but this is the second open zone in the game, after the Volga, aka a nice open zone to explore, with new gameplay mechanics, which again, the Caspian level has no new gameplay mechanics apart from a car. You see, at the start of the Caspian level, you can get yourself a car to help you traverse this vast land. Wanna know why they gave you a car? It's because they don't want you to see how empty this place really is. Sure, if you consider Bandit Camp's content, then Ubisoft Far Cry 3 has unlimited content at this point. The thing that solidified this for me was here. Please, this game has been out for how long and this container still has no collision? It's not a big problem, it's actually not even a problem at all, but it just shows that this level has less scare overall. But you know what's a problem? The main gameplay mechanic in this level, your means of transport, the car having this issue every time you open up the map. The funny thing is that the main objectives are really good and fun, and it's just that this open zone tricks you into thinking there is more to it than meets the eye. So what comes after my least favorite level in this game? Well, my favorite level actually. The Taiga level is one of the best levels in this game because it's the level that feels the most not like Metro. Everything for this level is just good. Visuals are a nice breath of fresh air, literally. The whole story for this level is my favorite. You see, let me get you guys back up to speed. After the Caspian finale, we found out that Anna has a really fatal illness, a lung failure, which leads us to go to the Taiga with Alyosha, and while going there, we get derailed and fall into a river. We lose our stuff and get knocked out. We get saved by one of the locals and she tells us that she will try to save our friend. We just need to not do something stupid. And this just sets out the whole stage. I like how they introduced the locals. They helped us, but then again, they don't like outsiders. They will not kill us if we don't trespass. So if you're a moral person, you should automatically avoid killing them. Also, remember when I said that you lose your stuff? I actually meant that you lose your guns and everything. The only thing you get is a crossbow at the start of the level. And the funny thing, the crossbow is really good. It can kill one shot to the body and it doesn't make any noise. But what I really like in this level is actually the freedom to tackle your objective. This level is linear. It has a very linear structure, but it doesn't feel linear. It's like a very cut down immersive sim. Just listening to the factions in this place fighting with each other, hearing the locals talking about us, it's very good. This level also has the first boss fight where you have to fend off against a big bear. The bear is a bit of a pushover. Some molotovs and 40 bolts to the head should do the job, but again, it's nice. Better than the Caspian level. So how is Metro gonna top this? The situation is dire. Anna is on her deathbed and if we don't find a cure soon, she will unfortunately die. So our last hope lies in the Dead City, a city where the radiation level exceeds even that of Moscow. And so the journey to save Anna begins, but this time we are going with Miller, the man himself. And right from the start, this level is Metro 101. You go back to the metros, you re-experience what the metros are like again. Isolating, cold, scary. Now this level works because Exodus didn't really do any metro levels before this. So at the end of the game, they give you a metro level as a reward of some sort, and I genuinely liked it. I played it all in one sitting at night, finished the game, and I have some things to say about it. It's atmospheric, and in some parts, it's annoying. I didn't really like the leech part of this level. I found it a bit annoying, especially since it comes right after a full-out mutant shooting section, but the part I really enjoyed, all for the wrong reasons, was the librarian section. I always liked the librarian enemy. Their gimmick always allowed for more experimentation with metro styles of gameplay. Sure, in Exodus you can kill the librarian, but I feel like this part is meant to be played in stealth. There is a whole achievement for finishing this part without killing a single librarian. The Dead City is an amazing level, and a good finale for Artyom Saga. So in conclusion, Metro Exodus is amazing. I cannot recommend this game enough for the people who never really tried it. If the FOV issue is turning you away from this game, I found a way to increase the FOV without having graphical issues, which I'm going to link in the description. The story of Metro Exodus is really nice. It's been a long time since I actually cared about fictional characters because Metro Exodus Exodus really takes the time to flush out all of its characters. Duke, Demir, Anna, Alyosha, Miller, all these characters grew on me the more I played Exodus. And again, I heavily recommend this game. So yeah, that's it. The video's done. And yes, I didn't talk about the 2 DLCs for this game, even though I made a community post and the majority voted for me to talk about them here in this video, because frankly, I know no one will watch this video till the end. I have spent a lot of time making this video, and if it does good in the YouTube algorithm, that will tell me that yes, people do want to see another Metro video. And if it doesn't, I'ma go back to making Sonic CD videos. So like this video if you enjoyed watching it, subscribe to not miss out on the DLC video coming out soon, and well, fuck you guys. Bye bye.
Probably gonna hit that don't save changes again. Used to write a song a day.